What's going on, guys, gals, and everyone in between? You are on the sidelines with the sideline guys. I'm Chris,
I'm Derrick.
and I hope you guys can hear the reggaeton outside. This is the Bronx,
Hey.
baby. You can't deny it. You can't deny it. So I just want to start this off by saying this may be a little chaotic. Me and Derek just been chopping it up for 30 minutes. We didn't
Yes.
even realize. We didn't even realize we weren't recording. So it's that time to just jump right in.
Yes, sir.
Week one was chaotic,
Yeah.
and I just want to admittedly say we're late. We're late for week one. I know. I know. We got our picks in. We did the documentation.
Yes.
It won't happen again.
Yes.
But with that being said, it's important to go over our week one standings at the moment, as we do every week on TSG. So we've got I'm sitting at 7, 8, and 1, and Derek is sitting at 8, 7, and 1. Matt also came in same exact score as mine, so we got some ground to make up after week
Oh,
one, but we're still not in a bad spot.
I forgot about that tie.
Yeah, the tie, week one tie. I think it took like 11 weeks last season to get a
Yeah.
tie.
It took a long time. Yeah. Jesus. Okay. All right.
Hmm.
All right.
It just speaks to how wild week one was. Literally,
It
we got a
was.
lot to cover.
Yes.
But I think the best way to start it off is just by asking you, man, what was your favorite week one moment? Be a homer. I don't care.
Oh,
What was your
yeah.
favorite week one moment?
AJ Brown. Jalen Hurts. That Hurts Brown connection, bro. Like, oh my God. And actually seeing like Miles Sanders go wild.
Hmm.
That's all I've been waiting for. Like that's all I've been asking for is for him to just go for it, and he did. You know, we were all, like a lot of Eagles fans were scared because he had a minor hamstring injury in the preseason. Um, that was scary. I ain't gonna lie, but he looks good. He looks good. So yeah, straight homer, Eagles, baby. You know, I don't care. And I had some people tell me like, that were mad because we put out our rankings, of course, for our week one top five. We're gonna do a top 10 moving forward, but for our top five, um, mad that I had the Eagles at four. I'm like, did you see that offense? Like the
Yeah.
defense, I know the defense was, they had some stuff to straighten up. And Jonathan Gannon, I pray to God utilizes Jordan Davis more. I don't know why you would not utilize him more to stop the run. But
Mhm.
I mean, the offense just looks crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, for sure, I'm putting them at four. And
And
if you
against a
don't like it,
defense
make your
that I
own list.
rate. Like that Lions defense is making plays too. Like don't
Yes,
don't sleep. That's a good
yes,
team. So I'm really
yes,
excited, man.
yes.
I
What
like
was
that. I
yours?
like that. I love to see you home out a little bit.
Yeah.
Mine is easy. We'll get there when we get there. So I'm not even gonna go into that. But I just have to say this. I have to give my shout out. So I made sure. Look, I did my homework here. You got to pull these things up.
Mhm.
Um, the fact that we had two different games where none of us picked the correct team speaks to the kind of week it was. I just got to
Yeah,
say that.
it was wild.
For sure. I just want to give my shout out to the one team that I come on this show every week and I shit on, and that's the New York Giants. I
Yeah.
never have a good reason to talk about the New York Giants, and I could say honestly, there was some fluky elements,
Mhm.
but you were the last person standing, and that's all that matters against a team that was the number one seed in the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
Grinning ear to ear were all New York Giants fans I know. All the overreactions, you love to see it, but seeing
Yeah.
Saquon Barkley go off the way he did week one, a lot of people's fantasy teams were gotten given a big boost by that. But not
Yes,
just
sir.
that, just the feeling of football being back in
Yeah.
some tangible way
Yes.
for Giants fans. It feels good, even though I shit on them every week. And very soon we'll be shitting on them again.
Oh, yeah,
But
most
felt
definitely.
good. Felt
Most
good to
definitely.
see that week one turnout.
Yeah.
But let's get right into it, man. My second question right here. This is leans a little bit into what I was talking about just now, but what was your most surprising moment from week one? And then we'll get into our predictions.
Surprising is that yeah, the Giants won that game. Um that was not expected.
Yeah.
Not expected. Yeah, that and the fact that the Commanders, I'd say the Commanders, came out
Yep.
and did their thing too. That's what happens if you have Wentz there. Like
Yes, sir.
he's gonna make it look good at times.
And I
And
hate that he did too, because the hope
yeah.
now, the hope has been
Oh no no no
injected.
no 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 no. It's sweet, bro. It's so sweet.
Oh
It's
yes, for you,
it's
yes,
it's going to happen. The fall is going to happen,
for
and
sure.
not, I don't want to say like physically. I don't I pray to God he's able to get through the season, unscathed, for the most part. But yeah, he's gonna have those bad games real soon. Like, that's going to happen.
The
That's that false hope.
expected,
That's what
the
that
expect.
that's that false hope he gives you, bro. Like, I don't get it. That is, so yeah, I love that he was able to ball out, but
For sure.
you got a lot of people trying to pick him up in fantasy now, which if you do that,
We need a sobriety test. That's all I got.
yeah,
If
nah.
you're that deep, we need a sobriety. We got problems. We got
Yeah.
problems.
Yeah, man. What was your surprise
Yes,
for week
sir.
2?
So for me, all of us picked the Vikings. I just got to say this. So it shouldn't be a surprise that they won and they balled out the way they did week one. That's not
Yeah.
even where I'm going with this. Um, I'm surprised by the Vikings defense. And now this is the reason why I feel this way. There was obviously dealing with a lot of younger receivers and a receiving core that isn't really used to playing with one another. I think that's important to note. But there was so many times where the play worked out, the ball was in their hands and they couldn't catch the ball. And now you're like, why are you giving credit to the defense for that? I think they had them shook. Like there was multiple times in this game
Yeah.
where I'm like, damn, the defense really has the Packers offense shook. And you can see Aaron Rodgers is pissed already.
Oh
I
yeah.
am honestly not too worried about them in the same way that I feel like a lot of people are. I feel like they're going to be able to bounce back, especially seeing like bad rolls like that, and the fact that they were able to not get cooked on the road when you're having a Herculean effort by Justin
Hmm.
Jefferson.
Yeah.
Um, I thought that was sort of we're 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 here as far as the Vikings. We're here. We're real. But at the same time, don't sleep on the Packers, because I feel like they got a lot to build on coming off a loss like that. So
Do you really?
yep, I do. I do.
What
Because
gives you
against
that?
against that team, because the quality of team, I think the Vikings are are going to be a good team this season. And
Yeah.
even though there was a lot of times where there's dysfunction. Don't get me wrong. They
Hmm.
need to figure out a lot of things. But I think if you're able to start week one, get punched in the mouth, survive, but see those moments where the plays worked out the way you needed them to, you just got a bad drop here or there. I think those are moments that can be turned around and they can execute on in the future for sure.
We'll see. I as pissed off as Aaron Rodgers was this week, I don't feel bad for him, honestly. He had the opportunity to walk away, and you decided to come back. You went back to that old thing.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times you can't go back to the old thing. You got to move on. And what's out there is actually probably a lot better for you. He decided to stick around. I don't.
I gotta say, Derrick, you might have to clip that for somebody. You might have to
Hey.
shade that somebody with that clip, because that was amazing. That felt so good. Yes, you're right.
Yes, sir.
But just like that, we're moving on to week two, baby. So I already ran down our prediction numbers for our Thursday night game. We both went with the Chiefs. So that cashed. So we're starting off the week hot, which you
Yes,
love to
sir.
see.
Yes, sir.
The first game that we're going to be talking about for this week is Patriots at the Steelers. I'll let you start on this one because it's a rough ride for sure.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't have hope. I think we talked about this last week. I don't have hope for the Patriots this year. I really don't. And as many holes as they have on both sides of the ball, um, not the Patriots, the Steelers are in a better position. Um, so I don't really know what else to say outside of that. I mean, TJ Watt is likely out for. I think he's trying not to be out for the rest of the season, but he's gonna be out for a while. So that's a big hit on the defense. But I mean, as long as Najee Harris is out there able to ball out, I don't see he's gonna have a fantastic fantasy game this Sunday.
Mm,
Yeah, I'm going with the Steelers, bro.
damn, damn.
I'm going with the Steelers. There's just no way I can go against them this week.
Yes, sir. Yeah, last week the way they performed was great. I mean, 7 sacks against Burrow. That's typical for him, but they
Hmm.
tried to do everything to load up the line, so you thought something would change. Nah,
Yeah.
Steelers came in hard, and I mean, what was it? 4 picks as well.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, I feel bad, man. I was the Patriots advocate of the bunch, and I don't want to overreact too much to week one, but it was rough. It was a lot tougher than I thought it would be. I thought there was some things that they could build on from last year. Um, I think at some point they'll level out. Like it won't be this bad every week, but I agree. I think I'm starting to get a little bullish on their ceiling as well.
Yeah.
And I think the Steelers' defense is just at a place where they can carry games. And the fact that Trubisky's giving you anything in the way he
Yeah.
has week one,
Yeah.
yeah, like I said, I feel like it's really addition by subtraction. Once Roethlisberger's gone, they're picking up that steam. So I agree. I'm going with the Steelers too.
And,
So I'll take the lead on this one since the fairy tale is over. Panthers versus the Giants. So man, I just gotta say real quick, RIP. Shout out to Cade York. If you're in need of a backup kicker in your fantasy league,
yeah.
pick up Cade York because don't ask me why. I won't admit why, but I watched the majority of the first half of that game.
Really?
I watched the majority of the first half, and when watching it, I'm like, this dude is legit. Like it's like Evan McPherson vibes. Like this man went 4 for 4 on big time kicks as a
Hmm.
rookie
Hmm.
and sealed the game as well with a 58 yard. Like that man balled out for them and they needed it. Like it wouldn't have
Yeah.
happened without him. So I think that's important to note. I think the Panthers really shout out to Baker, man. Like he had a fuck you drive there in the fourth that
He did.
made me feel so good.
Yeah.
And I thought they were on their way to winning that one. So that was a gut wrenching loss for sure. Obviously with the way they were competitive with Tennessee, it makes you feel like they should be. Um, but man, even at home, like I just feel like there's a big fire considering what happened last week, and they're not facing Miles Garrett this week. So
Yeah.
I'm going with the Panthers against the Giants
um, where are they playing?
in Jersey.
I might actually go for the upset, bro.
Really? Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me week two. The
I think I
Giants are
might.
going 2-0.
I think I might actually go with the Giants. Saquon Barkley got that fire lit under him, man. Like he's ready to prove everybody wrong. And I don't know, it's just something is something there um that's making me want to go with them. I know logically I shouldn't. I know this already. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and go with the Giants this week.
I like it. You got to make a couple of picks like that every week because it
Yeah.
balances it out. It balances it
Yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah. I like what they got going on, even though it's like it's not. Of course, they don't have much on the roster for you to sit there and think that yeah, this is going to be it for them. But I mean, Sterling Shepard looked good, you know. Of course, Barkley did. Who
I know
knows?
who didn't look good. I know who didn't look good. So what is the long term situation at QB, right? Because it isn't Daniel Jones, right?
It's
It
not.
isn't.
No, no, no. It's not. It's not. It's not. I don't know, bro. I you might be looking in the draft. You might be looking in the draft, but I don't know if that even if that's not what they really need is because I think in this year's draft they correct me if I'm wrong, they drafted offensive linemen uh
Offensive and defenses. Yep.
and defensive, so they're starting to do what they need to do, right? I think they just need to stay on that path,
Hmm,
stay on that path, build that lineup, try and get some more guys that you can have for 10, 12 years.
for sure.
you know I think that's I mean that's going to definitely help with keeping the QB up, making him throw more accurate,
I
is
know who
that
it
line,
is.
you know
Yeah.
and it helps Barkley, of course, too, extends his career a little bit. So yeah, have a reliable offensive line.
Hmm.
I think that's
It's
pretty
that
much what it
easy.
is.
It's that
I
easy.
it's you gotta be patient. You have to be patient to do it. Because if you get it wrong, you know,
Hey, shout out Alex Leatherwood right there. Speaking of getting it wrong, I still can't believe that. Literally, first rounders from last year getting cut from teams and not getting
yeah,
picked up. It's
yeah,
crazy. It's crazy.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
But
but
but ask the Giants, about the offensive line when you have a Odell Beckham and Saquon Barkley, but you don't have a good line.
you still can't go nowhere
You're not going anywhere. It doesn't matter
with
who
your
you have back
Madden
there.
team.
Like you can have Jesus behind center, and he's gonna have a hard time.
There will be wine, and we'll
Yes,
leave
yeah.
it at that. Next up, Jets versus Browns. And I love that it segues in. We were just talking about the Panthers Browns Bowl. That
Yeah,
was a real fun game, and I'm liking what I'm seeing about out of Jacoby Brissett. Little tongue twister right there.
yeah, yeah.
But as always, though, Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt are the heartbeat of that offense and
Yes.
carrying the damn thing. I can't believe both of them are literally RB1s in some leagues. If, if,
Right,
if
right.
you're struggling, both of them are RB1s, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
But this one's real simple, man. Shout out to Joe Flacco, man, but he ain't doing shit. Like he gets the most empty yards of any QB I couldn't think of. Like he gets yards, he gets chunk plays,
Yeah.
but it ain't really leading to much. So
It
that
doesn't
was
lead
a
to
lot
that.
of bleeding last week, and it sucks to see this team without the Cougar killer. So I'm hoping Zach Wilson comes back real soon, doing his damn thing. But until then, I think the Browns are taking this one and going 2-0
Oh yeah, that's like they're winning this game. There's no doubt in my mind they're winning this game.
for sure.
Even though Sauce
That's all we
Gardner,
need.
yeah, Sauce
Yep.
Gardner though, look, he looked good.
Yep.
He looked good. So I mean, you definitely hit there.
For sure. For sure. And two different teams that play in that same building to have a hard time doing that every year. So
Yes,
it's good
yes,
good to get
yes,
one of those right.
yes.
But we can move on just like that. Colts versus Jaguars. Very weird situation for both of these teams, man. How do you feel
Yeah.
about this matchup?
Um, they're in Jacksonville, right?
Yep.
I have the Colts winning this one, but I'm gonna be completely honest. There's no way that they should have tied. Well, yeah, only tied. They didn't have a win or loss last week, right? So
Should have lost.
they should have lost. But there's no way you do that against the Texans, bro. The
hmm
Texans.
Listen, I was gonna start the show with this, but I completely forgot. I think I'm doing something big here because of that tie, and it's just because of the tie. It's no longer gonna be General Mills. It's just the General. Because I'm liking what I'm seeing out of this kid, man. I'm liking what I'm seeing out of this kid.
Yeah,
I don't
man.
know. I feel like having Brandon Cooks back there is gonna help you no matter what. So maybe that's just what I'm seeing, the Brandon Cooks connection. Like I'm just getting excited for that.
And
But
OJ
he comes
Howard.
away. No, I was about to say, dude, like every game he comes away and he's not just looking for Brandon Cooks. So I'm like, damn, like I feel like he might be better than I was giving him credit for early on. And I think we saw that later in the season as well last year.
Yeah,
But seeing him build on that is cool. But I agree, man. I feel like there was a lot of points in that game that Houston had it wrapped up and then
yeah.
somehow it slipped out of their hands. So a weird game for sure.
Can you imagine buying tickets to that game and nobody
Oh,
wins? Oh
oh
my
man.
god, that would have been
Week one.
horrible, man.
Week one. Face paint, everything like damn.
Yeah, I need a refund. Um, yeah, I don't know, man. Like, is that more an indictment on the Colts? Like, should we? Is it we give the Texans credit for tying, or do we indict the Colts for looking like that?
I think it's a little bit of two different things, and one of them that I anticipated more than the other. I think the first part of it is sort of the bump that they got, and everyone's just assuming that they're going to be so great because of Matt Ryan,
Yeah,
which I think he's a definite upgrade. But at the same time, the Matt Ryanisms do come with him, which in this
yeah,
game was multiple sacks and an interception. So
yeah,
there
yeah.
I feel like those things are going to be constant throughout the year. But then I feel like the second part of it is definitely we need to give Houston the credit. I feel like they're still going to be a bottom of the rung team, but
Mm,
I feel like they might be in a better position to surprise a couple different teams along the way.
yeah,
So I don't know. A little bit of best of both worlds there.
yeah, I think so too. Um, that being said, they better win this game.
Oh yeah, they
They
need
better win
this
this
game.
game. They better win this
I feel like
game.
both of them really need this game.
They both need this game, but
Yeah.
the Colts need it.
Mhm.
The Colts really need it. Like Jacksonville, I can understand first year with Doug Peterson. Everybody's still trying to get used to language and stuff like that, personnel, whatever you want to say.
Mhm.
You know, they got new players at different positions, so I don't know. I don't want to make an excuse for them, but there's more reason to understand why they would have a bumpy start. The Colts, I don't understand that one. I don't understand that one. I mean, it's is they should have won that. They should have won that. So if they don't win this one, I'm already looking at them on being all right. You know,
Side eye, real
yeah,
side eye there.
like you might be in a little like a hot seat right there.
You know what's the
At,
weirdest part about that game too? When I look back at the stats for week one,
mm,
both Jonathan Taylor and Matt Ryan were in the top fives of their respective position. So it's such a weird.
both
It's
of them.
such a weird. Both of them, as far as yards, not
Oh
obviously
yeah,
not other stuff, but
yeah,
as far
yeah.
as
Because all they get
yards,
was yards.
yeah,
That's
literally,
literally
literally.
it. That's interesting. I mean, Jonathan Taylor. Okay, I understand that, but Matt
Matt
Ryan.
Ryan didn't
Yeah,
expect that
I
either.
didn't
Yeah,
expect that. I'm gonna go with the Colts this week,
I
but I'm
just gotta
telling you right
say,
now, if they don't win this one,
you're off the wagon.
I'm off the wagon, bro. I'm off.
Damn. Yeah.
I don't
I
jump that fast, but god dog, man, that's just
and I guess the team that bit you in the ass last year too. Like
yeah,
this is a revenge game in a lot
yeah,
of ways.
yeah,
This is so weird for me too, because coming in, I was confident that I was going to pick the Jags, and I feel like you sort of talked me off of my rocker here. Like I'm agreeing with you for a lot of things. I just feel like it comes down to the defense, and I trust the Colts defense more.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but man, Tavon Walker got a pick last
Hey,
week, which is you get off. Hey, you get what you could get.
yeah, yeah. We'll see.
Mhm.
We'll see. But there's
I
no
think
way.
this is a game to keep your eye on for sure,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
Which
For a
is funny
lot
to
of
think.
things. Frank Wright going against Doug Peterson, you know.
Wow, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. So there's a lot to look forward to with this game. But yeah, the Colts better win this one.
For sure. For sure. They need it.
Yeah.
Dolphins at Ravens. This man, this game is sneaky
Oof.
scary for me. I've been thinking about this
Yeah.
game all week. Obviously I'm picking the Ravens. We looked amazing against the Jets, but it is the Jets. I think what we showed on offense though is legit. I think that's a good defense. So coming away the way we did, all good things for us. I'm liking the way Miami's offense is looking, but Tua still Tua. I
Two
still
is
see
still
those
two.
Tua moments. Yeah,
Yeah.
hard to get away from that. But I mean, you got two of the best receivers in the league lining up on opposite sides. This is a scary matchup. Like I feel like this game last year's games was close. I feel like this game is going to be very close. But I think Ravens come out on top. Being at home is what edges it for sure.
Yeah. Um, I'm going Ravens too. Um, it would suck if they lost this game.
For sure.
It would suck. But this is gonna be a fun game to watch. It's gonna be I mean, you're looking at both offenses, like, you know, they're gonna be fun to watch anyway. So man, as long as you got Lamar out there, you got a shot. That's how I look at it. As long as Lamar's out there and he's got something to prove too. I don't know that I really see the Ravens actually losing this game.
Hmm.
I can't see that.
Especially with what we have to offer on defense. Like I think
Yeah.
100%. Tua is going to look way worse than he looked last week, and he only got up 20 points against the Patriots. So I feel like we're in a good
Yeah.
spot.
See,
We're
that's
in a good
another
spot.
thing. That's another thing. You're going against that defense. There's nobody there. Should be
There's always
more.
people there,
You
but
know
I
what I'm
feel you.
saying.
I
You
feel
know
you
what I'm saying. Like that defense
compared to
is
last year for sure.
compared to last year, and to others around the league. They're
That's
not like
fair.
that. They're not like that. So you only put up 20 against that defense. God bless
Yeah,
you.
and it was a sloppy 20 too.
Yeah,
It wasn't
yeah,
a clean 20 for sure.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. I feel much better. I thought I was gonna get a lot of pushback on that one.
Nah,
So
nah.
I was low key like, yeah, I don't know. He might just try to dig it to me this week for doing him dirty like that last week.
Nah, nah,
I was
nah.
expecting the Dolphins pick.
Nah. You lost. That's all. That's punishment enough.
Hey, I walked right into that one, so we're just gonna keep going because it hurt. It fucking hurt. Bucks versus Saints.
Oh
Fuck
god.
is oh man, I'm so mad. I'm so mad that I've talked myself into LASIK Jameis multiple times on this show. Because it's just always like you're bound to have one of these days where it's like, what the fuck, bro? What is going
Yeah,
on?
yeah,
And it
yeah.
wasn't as bad as it has been for him in the past. I will say that. Like it's not like he just went on a pick spree like we've seen him
Yeah,
do a
yeah,
couple
yeah.
times, but
Yeah.
just a lot of bad decisions holding on to the ball for a really long time against a Falcons team that's fun on offense, but not really much else to offer for
No.
sure.
Yeah, yeah. The Falcons are like a mm,
Which makes me feel even worse about this Saints team. I feel like the Saints always own the Bucks though. So this is a tough game to pick for me at least.
yeah. I I'm going with the Bucks. I'm expecting Mike Evans to have a big game, especially with Chris Godwin not playing. Um, but I honestly wouldn't be surprised if the Saints won this game. I would not be surprised. Are they in New Orleans?
Yep.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, but it's like you said, like Jameis. I love Jameis, man. That dude is hilarious. Like you hear him in his interviews, and like I don't even
Facts.
know what he's talking about. Like, but
I think that's the point. Like he doesn't either. Like
he does.
that's the point.
He just gets there, opens his mouth, and whatever happens, happens. Um, and I love him for it. But I think this could be close. I don't want to say it's gonna be a shootout, but I think it could be close to it.
Yep.
I think it really could be. Um, is Kamara playing?
That's the question.
That's the big
I'm
question
gonna
about
check on
this.
that
I
real
know
quick.
he's been questionable all week with that rib injury, but um, and it's like as like I finally get him in fantasy, and now there's a rib injury. I like, come on, man.
Hmm.
um, but I'm gonna go with the Bucks on this one, man. I don't know.
Yeah, right now he hasn't showed up to practice today. So
Yeah, yeah, he's likely not playing. So yeah, that's even more reason to say that the Buccaneers will win this one. So
yeah, for sure. For
safe
sure.
bet, go with the Bucks.
I really wanted to take a shot on the Saints. Um,
Yeah,
I really wanted to, but I agree. It's just a safer situation considering how last week went. You gotta play it safe a little this week.
yeah,
Commanders at the Lions. Fucking Commanders are not good because of that week one game. Both of
no,
those teams look like they fucking suck out there. Like let me make this shit
yeah,
clear.
yeah,
I'm disappointed in the Jaguars offense. Could be just week one vibes. I don't know, but I don't rate the Commanders defense. And I thought the Lions looked good, especially
they do.
later on in that game. I feel like
Yeah,
they got their stuff figured out a little bit. I think defensively they're going to be really fun to watch, and I think this is going to be the game where we see that. So
I'm going with the Lions on this one for sure.
nice,
Are they in
lock it.
Detroit?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going with them. I'm going with them. I don't think
Sure.
their defense can stop Swift.
Yep. That's the problem. That
I,
is
I
the problem.
I don't think they're gonna be able to stop that run. Pray to God they can't, because I need him to go off this week.
I feel that. I feel that.
I need him to
I
go
had a
off.
couple duds last week that I'm mad about. We ain't
Yeah,
even gonna get into that. But
yeah,
shout out to Antonio Gibson. My second flex put in big numbers for me last week. So we
yeah,
love it. We love it.
yeah.
But
I think it's
you're
gonna
still gonna take that out.
I think it's gonna be the game where you see Wentz get flustered a little bit.
I was about to say flustered. No, he's gonna look exactly like his helmet. Like he's gonna take off his helmet, and there's gonna be another helmet because he's gonna be so red. It's just gonna be pigment. There's gonna be the W in his hairline. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. But next up, Seahawks at Niners. Dude, when I was thinking about this, I was really contemplating if this was in what is it, the Lumen? Lumen? If it was in
Yeah, they did change it.
Seattle, yeah. It's
It's
usually
so
me that
weird.
fucks up on that for sure.
Yeah.
It's just because I watched that match, I was
I-
like, it's the Lumen. That's what it's called now. Um, if it was there, I would have picked the Seahawks because I'm really excited about what I saw on Monday.
yeah, yeah.
Like that was fun to witness. Uh, Russ in the dirt. I don't know why. I think I enjoy rooting
Why does
against
everybody hate like what is the I won't say hate Russ, but what is the
bro.
vitriol
Bro, you
against him?
grew up. Listen, don't. I, I'm a little upset that you asked me that
I
because in the
I
year
just
of our
I just want to
Lord,
have it.
in the
No,
year of our Lord, 2022, you don't
listen.
understand
I
why
just
people don't like the guy that's
I
with
just
Sierra.
I
Explain to me what you don't understand. Like, explain to me what is there. Not to, this man has been blessed. This man has been
beyond
blessed.
measure.
Yes, this
Yeah.
is why. This is why.
But Future didn't get that same vitriol, man. Like
Uh,
you
that's
know,
true.
so I get it, look at Sierra, but at the same time, I mean, he didn't deserve the booze, man. Like
I think it's
like
the less ride shit. I hate that.
that
Like, that's such a
that was horrible.
stupid.
I mean, but that's right up his alley. He's corny.
Except that
He's
all
corny.
reasons, all reasons to crucify the man. I feel you.
This is all like this. That's just him. So like I don't know, but I think they lost not only because of the location, but because he didn't play preseason.
Hmm. Like they had no rhythm
You had no
offensively.
rhythm. Yeah. So I don't know, you know. I'm
Their
expecting them to pick
defense
it up.
plays better at home, 100%.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
especially
yeah,
now that they have Jamal Adams injury, which just sucks. Sucks
yeah,
to see guys go down for the entire season, week one.
yeah.
But I really wanted to pick them here because the fucking Niners looked terrible last week. Like, what the fuck was that? I don't care that
The
it was
rain,
raining. I don't care about that. I really
that
don't because it
flood.
wasn't raining the whole game, bro. It wasn't raining the entire
I didn't
game.
watch that game. It
That's
was
how I
crazy.
feel.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't watch that game.
I didn't
Um,
watch it either, but I saw and it was terrible. Like I
yeah.
that Trey Lance. Listen, I got Trey Lance on one of my fantasy teams, and I was
Do you?
immediately mad about it. I was like, why did I do this? Yeah, but he's my backup. He's my backup, so I don't feel
Find
bad
another
about it. It's
backup,
not a
bro.
flex
Find
league,
another.
so yeah,
Find another backup.
you might be right. You might be right.
That's yeah. That's gonna be rough for him. I'm going with the Niners, bro.
Yeah, me too.
I'm gonna go with the Niners.
I like that we just shitted on them to pick them anyway.
Yeah.
I agree with you though.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Niners. I think their defense is next level and they're really fun to watch. Sucks that Eli Mitchell's out too though. That's another big one.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, but honestly, I
Shout
think
out to Gino.
Seattle.
If Seattle wins, I'll be so happy. I don't even care. So that's how I feel making the pick.
Look, Gino might be the guy there.
Dude, I love it.
He might
I
be the
love it.
guy. He looked amazing week
Dude.
one.
Stepping up through the pocket. Like
Yeah,
I couldn't believe it, bro. I couldn't
yeah,
believe it. Yeah, it was awesome.
yeah. So I mean, that's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see. I want it for him. I want it for him because
Hmm.
I think it's good to see this resurgence um for him. So
For sure.
yeah, I'd be happy to see him stay there long, at
What was the
whatever long
quote?
term looks like.
Can you pull it out of the memory banks? What was the quote? Because I loved it. That clip of him after the
Uh
game. He's like,
yeah,
keep
they wrote
calling.
me off, but I didn't write back.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It
Yeah.
sounded much better.
It
Sounded
sounded
much better in the
it
video.
sounded it sounded good when he said it, but then I thought about it like after he
Did
said it,
they?
I was like, hmm.
They didn't ask you to.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh man.
Like
But yeah,
everybody kept like on social media, everybody was like pumping it up like this. It was some inspirational quote. And I'm not saying it didn't inspire anybody. It didn't inspire me though, man. I ain't
I
gonna
was
lie.
about to
I
say,
was
but if
I
it
was
inspired you, it's a
if
low bar. It's a low bar.
if it inspired you, that's great. Honestly, I'm glad. I didn't get anything out of that. I didn't get it. I was like, bro,
It
go.
was it was the face he made for me.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what did
yeah,
it for because you could tell he was very satisfied in the moment, and that's
yeah,
what matters. That's
yeah.
shout out to Geno
So
Smith.
I'm happy for him. Just I would say, think of those bars beforehand.
Mm,
Write those
feel
quotes
that.
down beforehand. Memorize them so you come out with a new bar every week or something like that. Now, if
I
Gino
ain't gonna
does
hold
that,
it. That's a league favorite, right?
hey,
If he got a quotable tweet every week, hey,
yeah, he'd be the Drake of the NFL.
yo, I need this. And then I need his first, like I need his single to be like he needs to write about deli meats.
Yeah.
You gotta lean into the Geno vibe. You know what I'm saying? We need a well-rounded
I
rap
didn't even,
approach here.
yes, I like
Come on,
that.
man. Come on. Well, I'm gonna be here all week. You know what I'm saying? But we'll move on because
Call him the
the Geno
butcher or
Smith
something.
love. Oh yeah,
Call
Geno
him
the
the
Butcher.
butcher. Yeah, yeah. The way he slices up the defense.
I
You
like
know,
that.
that would be. Oh man, that'd be a nice marketable. Hey man,
We
hey,
ain't doing this shit for free no more. I'm
hey,
tired.
look. Whoever hears this, we want in. All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Once the promo drops, we know it's real. We're
Yeah,
waiting for the
yeah,
check for sure.
yeah.
Falcons at Rams up next. Man, the Rams look like I was about to say some wild shit. Let me let me not do that. I was about to say so I'm gonna tell you later. Remind me.
Please, please,
Uh,
please.
but they looked they looked pretty bad offensively.
They did.
And
They did.
a lot of the issues that they had last year, which is something that I brought up in the preview on why I thought they would end up losing in this match,
Mm,
I think it is time to give Stafford a little bit of the side eye, man, because I feel like having Allen Robinson dudded out the way he did, and then having, listen, I get it, you're facing a tough team, I get it for
yeah,
sure,
yeah.
but I feel like some of it were a little bit of an unforced error, especially that second pick. So I don't know how to feel about this team, man. Even though obviously you're the Super Bowl champs, we're not writing anybody off week one. The Falcons look better than you would expect. I'm not
Mm.
picking the Falcons here. Make that clear. But I think I'm worried. I'm a little worried about the Rams.
Okay, so I'm not sure if I said this to you last week or if we said this before the Super Bowl, but I told you if the Bills had been in the Super Bowl instead of the Bengals, they would have won that game.
Mm-hmm.
They would have won that game, man,
Yeah,
because they're
matchup.
like the Rams offense stalled when OBJ went out, and you can only force feed to Cup,
So
and
much. Yeah.
yeah, but I mean like
The cup runneth over.
I like
Wow.
that. That's bro, like man, come on, man. That's a good fantasy team name too.
Yep. Yep.
Cup runneth over. I'm gonna have to keep that for one that late next year. Um, but no, I think the Bills showed in that game that they're over the hump. I think they're over the hump. I think they're ready to be in the Super Bowl. Um, I think I definitely I do. Josh Allen looked phenomenal, and I say all that to say I'm picking the Rams, but it's the Falcons, and I agree with you. I am. The Rams need to figure out their run game. They need to figure out who
They
they're
didn't even
like.
try
Hey,
to figure it
bro, like it's at this point, like what are we doing here? You can't turn the cap off on the season, sign everybody you want outside of Odell, and not address the run game properly.
out.
Now if you're not going to utilize Akers or Henderson, like and actually like use them, what are we doing here? They're capable backs. It's not like you have to go out and get someone else.
Yeah.
Henderson looked
Both of them are
phenomenal.
capable. Yep.
Yeah, but Henderson was balling last week. So
And you have a change of pace. Like there's a lot there. So I agree, man. I don't get it.
yeah, I don't know what it is. So I mean, I think everybody, if you got anybody in your fantasy lineup that is a Ram this week, you should start them
Yeah.
because the Falcons defense, that's like going up against paper. So they're gonna ball out. But I wouldn't look at this game to be like, oh, they corrected whatever they needed to correct from that Bills game. To me, they're still under the spotlight. Like if you're not going to, and I don't know who their opponent is next week, but if put it like this, you better win this week.
Yeah.
You better, and that better be a balanced offense. Like this they should look at this as practice for what they need to do.
For
Right,
sure.
the defense looks great. I mean, Jalen Ramsey got cooked, but you know the defense looks. I have nothing to say bad about the defense in total, right?
Hmm.
But whatever the miscommunication or uh, uh, whatever the issue is between Stafford and Robinson, they need to figure that out because you can't. Robinson cannot be that wide open,
Hmm.
and you don't see that.
For sure.
You know
I
what I'm
don't know what
saying?
it is, man. I feel like it's not like I feel like he's a quarterback that has issues throwing to a certain side. Like I really
Yeah,
can't gauge why he does the things he does. I feel like
yeah,
he's when he's good, and then he just has moments like that. I guess you gotta give respect to the Bills in that situation and just assume that has to do with it. But I agree,
yeah.
man. They got a long way to go to figure this out. And I just want to say in this game, I got a name for you here. This is gonna be a
Okay,
random name,
okay.
probably a name that you've never even heard of, but I think it's one to remember on this Falcons team. Grady Jarrett.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Nah,
I
he's
just gotta
big
say
here,
it.
bro.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, he is really, really
Yeah, people love him. The
awesome.
Falcons fans love him. I
Yeah.
had
The
when I
amount of
had
pressures last week that he had against the Saints was insane. Like I was
yeah.
watching a portion of that game too. Don't ask me
Oh no,
why.
I
Once
was
again.
too. I was at
Oh yeah,
Applebee's.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. How dare you go to Applebee's, bro? But I feel you. I feel you.
Hey man, that's what was there.
Oh man, I love it. I love it. Today's a little we're a little off the rails here, but
Yeah,
yes,
man. Yeah.
I'm loving Grady Jarrett. I think he can pressure Stafford. That's something to keep an eye on this
Yes.
matchup. But we already made our picks here. We're
And if
moving
you
on.
have an IDP league, and Jarrett is available, he's definitely something you should get for sure.
Can you please explain what is an
And
IDP league?
individual defensive players.
No way.
Oh, you
That
never
that
played it?
exists? No.
Oh, man, I had a setup for that in one of the OTS leagues, and people complained about it.
Uh that sounds so fun, dude.
It
What the
is
hell?
fun because it allows you to look at defensive players differently, right? The only thing
Exactly.
I'm pissed off at is that there's no offensive linemen included in fantasy.
I don't know how you would.
The
That's a good
same
point.
the same way you would do because if you give up a block and then the quarterback gets sacked, right? That's a point deduction. But if you're constantly moving the chains and blocking for your runner, like that should be calculated.
That's what I'm saying though. How is that quantified? Like how are you like the yards aren't like just because you
Same
held
as a
your
runner.
block, your yards aren't, you know what I'm saying?
No, same as
Same
a
as what?
runner though. Same as a runner though. So like if okay, let's put it like this. Let's say Lane Johnson, right? Plays right tackle, right? If Miles Sanders runs right and Lane is pushing the defensive player up 5, 8 yards, right? And he's able to get the run, that should be 5 points, 2 to 5 points, something like that.
Because it was directly involved.
Because
I feel
it's
you on that.
him involved, right? So like it's the same way where you get two different defensive linemen that can do. I know we're going way off rant. So I'm sorry about this, but if you have two defensive linemen that go for a sack, like where it was a solo tackle
Hmm.
or
Assisted or
assisted,
whatever.
that's calculated. So
Yep.
how are blocks not calculated?
That's so true. And I agree with you that this makes sense in theory, but the undertaking of what that would be in my mind is insane. Like the way
I,
you calculate that in real time for fantasy for other positions, like I can't imagine that they're like, well, yeah, that block counts for like you know what I'm
well,
saying, that block counts for this one versus like
if
that's gonna be
you
crazy.
if well like
It makes sense in theory. I'm
if
not shutting down the
coaches
theory. It's
well
just
look because like
keeping track.
anytime you're watching a game, right, like the commentators that play the game or have been around the game for so long are able to look and say, oh yeah, this guy like you I don't see offensive holding on offensive linemen until they do a replay, and that might be because of the camera angle or
Or
like the
what you're
speed
focusing on,
or what
yeah.
you're focusing on. Yeah, so there's but they're obviously looking at that, so there are people that are paying attention to the offensive line strictly, or both
For sure.
offensive and defensive linemen. So I feel like there's a way to do it, man, because there's no way that you can have great players on that offensive line. The offensive line is probably the most ignored and unappreciated part of football,
I
in
agree.
my opinion, by just fans.
And
If
have some of the best athletes in the fucking game. I just
it
got to say
really
that as well.
it
Yeah.
they really do, like there's no way you can stand there and pay attention to different elements of the game and not see that the offensive line is just as important as the quarterback, or just as important as the receiver or running back, because if they're not
Probably
there,
more.
those guys can't get anything going. So that's my campaign speech to
I
get
like it.
offensive linemen in fantasy. I want to see it.
For me, this is what bugged me the fuck out because I agree with you, and I think this is something like you said. You're already taking track of this to some extent. Rushing yards directly, I think, need to be
Yes,
noted for that. But
yes.
what bugs me the fuck out is like you want to give, for example, the example you gave with Lane Johnson, right? Let's say there's a run that goes the opposite way of Lane Johnson, and he
Mm-hmm,
blows his coverage entirely, and
mm-hmm,
and his
mm-hmm.
guy gets through,
Yes,
but they still get a gain for X amount of yards.
yeah,
I would imagine that it would be like, well, that's a win for the offensive line because they ran 8 yards. But
yeah.
because he was at fault in some way, like that's where I feel like this becomes untrackable for the fantasy people. That's
I,
why I'm
I
like,
would say zero.
right?
I would say 0 points at that point. Like if
Hmm.
if if he's just like held on or whatever, and like maybe
Like
the
he
runner.
did bad on a good net play.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah, yeah. I would just say zero. Like this, it didn't directly impact the way the play happened, especially if you do like a jet sweep, right? Like if you're
yep,
going the
yep,
opposite way or whatever, then I don't see I like you can have a blown coverage, but then you still get the first down. Eh, it didn't really do anything. So I would say zero. I'd say zero. But
for sure.
if you let the defensive lineman get through, or a linebacker get through, and not only sack the QB, but there's a fumble on the play. Oh, buddy, and it's your fault.
-7.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, something
I
like
hate
that.
I hate that you talked me into this
Yeah,
because I love real quick. I just want to say this. I think this falls into the same category of good ideas that we have, but there's this
yeah.
little subcategory of that, which is the ones that make no money. And I just gotta say this is gonna be one of those because literally this takes out the casual element to fantasy football. Like there will
Oh
be
yeah,
so
yeah,
many
yeah.
people that I know that are in fantasy leagues that will be like, nah, bro, I can't even try to keep up with that. Like
Well, see, here's the thing. Like maybe you don't do individual defense. I mean, individual offensive linemen, but maybe we just do the offensive line in total.
because
Because we
that's where we started.
because
We
we do
started
the
talking about
defense in total.
individual linemen
Yeah, yeah,
because I felt like that is much harder. I agree with you. Overall line, like if you're just drafting the same way you do a defense on most traditional fantasy teams, I like that.
yeah. So maybe you do it like that. Now, me, I would want an individual as well. Give me both. Give me
Give me
both.
the option. God
I
damn it.
get yeah. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I like
So
it. They keep
this is
track. They keep track of pancakes and all that. It all
that's
adds
what.
up.
How do you keep track of that? But you can't. Nah, get out of here.
The money. We got to bring the money into
Yes,
this, and it'll work
yes,
out.
Yes.
I don't know how the fuck we ended up here, but the
Grady
next
Jarrett.
game that we
Get
have,
Grady
there we
Jarrett.
go.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
My bad,
The
man.
next game, you're good. Don't worry about it at all. I love it. The next game we have is Cardinals at Raiders. This is a fun
Hmm.
one, right? This is a fun game right
No.
here.
I mean, if you're a Raider, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Rondell Moore is out.
Yeah.
Rondell Moore
Yeah.
is out. The
Yeah.
the reason why I said this is a fun game though is because the Raiders are a team that I will never feel confident in showing up in any direction. Like on the bad side, on the good side, I
Yeah.
can't confidently gauge who the fuck they are as a team because I feel like every week they come
Isn't
out
that
differently.
weird?
Yes, it is very strange, dude. It's very strange, and I feel like this is a trend that's gone on for a couple seasons now too.
At some
Um,
point, we've got to start talking about more for them. Like, whether that's moving on from Derek Carr,
I don't think it is.
whether
I
like
think that guy's
something.
good, but he did fuck up a lot last week,
That's what
so
I'm
I don't.
saying. But there's it's always something with him. Like at some point during the season, like he'll play very well, and then he'll have a stretch where it's just dud after dud.
Ass. You can say it,
Yeah.
ass. Yeah.
And then he'll pick it up towards the end of the season, and then okay, you know,
Congratulations.
yeah.
Yeah, for
But you
real
got
though.
Devontae Adams now. Like, what's the
And he balled, by the way.
he
Gotta
balled?
add that.
I
Yeah.
don't want any excuse after this season. There's I want to see what they're gonna do. I want to see what they're gonna do. But if they don't make it at least to the playoffs this year, I don't want to hear any more about the Raiders.
For me, it's out of round one. Y'all made it last year.
Well, that's
And
what.
yes,
Yeah,
y'all
yeah.
faced the eventual conference champions, whatever. But it at this point it's beyond just making it for the Raiders because they've been trying to be a playoff contender for 2 years. And this
Mm-hmm.
is year three. And this is the only chance where it actually looks like it is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and if this one falls short, it's like, well, what the fuck were y'all thinking 2 years ago then? Because if
Yeah,
this is the
yeah.
closest y'all could have got and y'all came nowhere near it, I don't know how y'all thought y'all were in that position in a couple years ago, but crazy. But anyway, this is this is a wild one to pick. I'm gonna go with the Raiders. I kind of thought like I entertained the topic of Kyler Murray doing some things to make this game interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what I think the issue with that is they got fucking punched in the mouth last week, and they're on the road again with receivers out. So it's like
Yeah, yeah.
what you have as a bright spot is looking bad for you. And I didn't want to shit on the Cardinals the way I did. I feel like you were very surprised with how hard I was on the Cardinals.
No, I'm
But I
there
think that's
with you
playing
though.
out. I think it's playing out for
Yeah.
sure.
No, I'm there with you though. The Cardinals don't look good.
Yeah.
Period. They just don't look good. And and
Just
and
defensively as well. Like,
defensively, you let go two incredible players. I just don't see how you do it. I don't know what the expectations are.
yeah,
I don't know. So yeah, I'm going with Raiders too. There's just no way. I don't care where they're playing. Like
yeah.
this is just not a team that
And they're in Vegas
and they're in Vegas. Yeah, this is just not a team that the Cardinals can beat.
for sure.
They're not. So
Texans at Mile High against the Broncos. This is a must-win game for Russell Wilson and the Riders
yeah.
and the Riders, and against a sneaky, challenging team. Like I'm excited for this one.
Oh man, I shouldn't write off the Texans, and I feel weird for saying that I actually like them right now.
I do. That's what
I
I do.
I like them. They,
The general's here, man.
hey man,
The general's
honestly,
here.
I might be a believer. I might be like not now, but like long term.
Yep.
Like if they build their offensive line out, who knows? This might
Yep.
actually be something that's worth watching. Um, they're in Denver though, so that I'm not expecting them to win this game. I I'm not excited to win this
I
game,
love the
man.
optimism that we've been given
Yeah,
on this episode.
yeah,
You need to be happy about
yes,
telling you you're about to take an L, you know?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm trying to be in a more positive space. But yeah,
There's a real threat there though.
oh
That's
no,
the
that's
key that
but
needs to come
that's the
across.
problem
Yeah.
too. That's the problem because if Denver can't win against the Texans, bro, you just gave all that up.
For the Seahawks and the Texans to cook you in the first 2 weeks. Yeah, man, this is must win
And
territory right
and
here.
honestly, I'm not even sure that I really put this on the players right now. I mean, they should have played preseason for sure, but that loss had more to do with the coaching than anything else.
Fuck that. I feel like call me crazy here. Call me crazy here. This is a harder matchup than last week.
Whoa,
Am I crazy for saying that?
yeah.
With the way these teams play,
Not just a team, bro. It's being in Seattle, that 12th man, right? Like,
I guess, yeah. And then being in Mile High,
yeah,
team for team neutral playing field. I don't know. I think there's an argument to be had there about what's a scarier team, the Texans or the Seahawks. But
the
we'll see.
Seahawks defense doesn't scare me. I'll put it like that.
Their offense doesn't scare me
Their
either.
offense doesn't scare me either, but I like what I saw.
Yeah.
Now
If
they did.
you're
Gino did stall in the second half. I ain't gonna lie,
for
but
sure.
for the first half, he's really the first 3 quarters. You could say he was outdoing Russell Wilson. Maybe the whole game if
Definitely.
you want to.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know, man. I don't know.
I can't wait till we get fucking Texans versus Seahawks. Like that game has to
oh
happen this
man,
season, right?
I,
Just so we could talk about this again.
probably
Because
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know why I'm so fucking excited about this. Like I actually I don't know, man. These I think it's because we got optimistic vibes today. We're trying to get all the teams that are in the trenches out of the trenches. But I don't know, man. Is this a crazy statement here? We're about to go on another tangent right now, but I will
Yes,
say this, and I think this is something we've moderately touched on before. But I feel like and across every sport, like it's not just the NFL, but I feel like we're in a golden age of athletes. Like, am I crazy for saying that? Like, I feel
no,
like the amount of talent per team
yeah.
nowadays is much greater than it was in the past, in my opinion. I feel like there's a lot more bright spots around the league.
I don't think you're wrong on that. I don't think
But
you're wrong on that.
a lot of teams are still trash.
A lot of teams are still trash. Yeah,
Broncos are winning this
but
week,
but
probably.
see, here's the thing: it's like they're trash, but the 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 players that they have are actually good players. It's just that other teams have better players.
Better players and what they're doing is more cohesive. Like I feel like
Yes, yes, yes.
that makes such a big difference in this
It
league.
does.
And
It
I think
does.
that might be a little bit of what of the Colts issues are as well.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
they're fighting their identity a little bit by making the switch. So I'm interested to see. I don't know what the
Hey,
fuck we're getting. We're all over
Colts.
the place today. I
I'm
love
a,
it.
I'm gonna go into another direction too.
Yeah.
I'm willing to say I want to see Nick Foles start. If
At
if
some
Matt
point, yeah,
if
to
Matt
see what it looks
Ryan,
like
I promise you, bro, Nick Foles would kill this. He would
in
kill it.
that assignment. Yeah.
Yes, yes. They
I
they
like
might
it.
as well, like
We're
if
gonna have
Matt
another
Ryan.
chance to talk about Nick Foles.
If Matt Ryan loses against the Jaguars, bro, I want to see Nick Foles. I want to see what he can do.
Hey, and I think other Colts fans would agree with you there.
Yeah,
But we
yeah.
move on finally to
Yes,
the
sir.
Bengals versus the Cowboys. And speaking of teams that look fucking terrible, I thought the Bucks looked like shit against the Cowboys, and it wasn't even okay. Let me tone it down a little bit. I think Michael Parsons had success.
There were individual players that looked good. The team
Exactly.
looked
No, no, no.
like trash.
Horrible. Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But
Yeah.
I feel like they also played a team that looked relatively trash to how they usually look in the Bucks and
Mhm.
still lost in such a fucking tragic way.
Oh, they only
I'm
put three
convinced
points.
there's no way they're in a playoff push this season. There's no
No,
way.
no, no. But that's what I was telling you, like preseason.
I know. I know
Dallas
too.
has no chance. They have no chance. And the fact that Jerry Jones has the unmitigated gall to actually say that Dak could possibly be back by week 6. Dude, are you kidding me? Why?
I didn't even know he said that. No
Bro,
fucking way he said
they're
that.
saying they want to bring him back for the Eagles game. Why the hell? That lets me know you don't like Dak at all. I want to see Dak go. I want to see Dak leave Dallas. And I
Mm,
don't care where it is. I don't care where he plays. I, he is too good of a player to be in that franchise.
mm.
Like I'm at the point now where I'm legitimately pissed
Back to
for Dak.
the Patriots.
Yeah.
Let's get it. Back to
Hey, now why not? Why not? Why not? Dak with the Patriots or hey man,
Saints.
look, if Lamar walks, why not?
I don't. Hey, I like it. I like it. You're right. I
Why
like it.
not?
It's a situation thing. I don't dislike Dak at all. I agree with you.
I love
It's
Dak,
everything.
man.
It's everyone around him.
Yeah, yeah. So I like God. I look, and Dallas fans were throwing trash at him while he was running into the locker room
Fucking idiots.
injured. Like, what are we
Idiots.
doing here?
Anyone doing that shit, period. You're a fucking deplorable human being. I don't care
For
what the reason
sure.
is. I don't care.
Yeah, I like the team, the team in general, and I don't. And we're not even talking about Ezekiel Elliott.
Dude was looking good until he wasn't. Until he wasn't.
I,
What does that sound like?
I don't.
Every
Every,
Ezekiel Elliott season. It's
bro,
crazy.
for the last 3 to 4 years, that's been Zeke.
Mhm.
Like
Bengals are winning this game for sure, and they
Bengals are
need a
winning
bounce
this
back
game.
game.
They are definitely winning this game. I would be surprised if the Cowboys even put up 3 points in this.
You're lying, bro.
They
You
put up
don't
three against
believe
the Bucks, bro.
you don't believe in Cooper Rush, bro.
No. No.
You're
They
not
didn't
catching the rush, bro.
look, bro, they didn't believe in him.
Yeah, they did. They didn't even put him in.
So
Oh man,
why would I believe in him?
oh,
No, no. I'm trying to get rid of CD Lamb right now in my
the
fantasy.
Red Mamba, the Red Mamba. Mark my words. Dalton Schultz is gonna have 70 yards. Mark my words.
Bro, he might have the yards. I don't think
They
they're
ain't
gonna
getting shit.
score. I don't think they're scoring.
Wow,
I don't think they're scoring.
wow.
And
That's big, man.
that might be a bold prediction.
I don't think there was a team that didn't score last week. Like that's a big bold position.
No, those two.
There was two.
Yeah, the Colts and Texans.
How dare you? I fucking believed you. How dare you? Oh man, this is like one of the funnest shows in recent memory. This is amazing right
It's
now. I'm like, it's
hilarious,
a
man.
fever dream.
It
That's how it
is.
feels.
It is, man. It is.
Week one vibes. We're back, baby. We're back.
No, but honestly, if the Cowboys didn't do anything against the Buccaneers, and we are and like you said, they weren't playing that great.
Yeah.
I don't know how the Texans, I mean not the Texans, the Cowboys are supposed to put anything up against that defense.
Mhm.
I don't know. Eli, man,
The crazy shit about this, real quick.
Eli
Yeah,
Apple better.
I was about to say
Eli
Eli
Apple better
Apple's
go
top.
off.
He's top 15. I can't. He's top 15. Nah, but for real though, for real. What bugs me out and I'm excited for is last week I was talking to my guy, the GOAT, Slurp G, my guy Logic. We was talking about yeah, sorry. I got a couple of nicknames for the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? My guy Logic. So we was talking about this game that just passed against the Steelers, and he's
Mhm.
like like preemptively was trying to shut down me talking shit about Joe Burrow. And I was like, nah, man, like the dude's a fucking dog. Like I wasn't even trying to talk shit about
Yeah,
him. Like
yeah,
it's more so about the line because I just feel like his attitude, like dude was getting cooked,
yeah.
like getting
He
cooked, and they
is.
were taking it to him big time.
Yes.
And he's fucking fearless, man. Like
Yeah.
that is a dude that I'm sure all the guys on his team are ready to run through a fucking wall for him for
Yeah.
sure because
I, I'm
he's
I'm
about it. He's
I'm
about it.
I'm convinced he wears black forces.
Oh, the Black Forces energy. They, that's how they lost, though.
Yeah.
It was Mike Tomlin bringing in
Yeah.
all the Black Air Forces. Damn, I agree though. I like that.
Yeah,
Hey,
man.
this I'm gonna ask you one question. We'll move on after this. Do you think full blown does he get the pass? Like I gotta ask you,
Who?
Joe Burrow.
What pass?
The
No.
you know
No.
no
No.
okay. I just
No.
wanted to ask.
No.
I just had to ask.
No.
I thought the LSU I thought we
Nah.
was close. All right,
Nah.
we're moving
Nah.
on. All right, Bears at
Look,
Packers.
and you know
Bears at
why?
Packers.
You know why?
Oh yes I do. Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care where he lived. I don't care how he talks or what he eats or what he listens to. Mm-mm.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I thought I had you there.
Nope.
Bears at Packers. Bears at Packers. Why is this a competitive game?
I don't know because the
It
Packers
shouldn't
suck.
be. How dare Derrick? Not again, Derrick.
The Packers
I'm trying to
suck.
show love.
No, no. The Packers suck, bro. They are trash.
They're a
They are
lot worse
trash.
defensively than I anticipated them to be, but
Yes. Yes. And Chicago, I don't care if that was that if they were playing in a water slide or at a water park last
water
week.
slide.
Like they did
Oh
their
shit.
thing, bro. They did their thing.
Did they
They
really? Did they really? That's my
look,
question. Did they really? What was it? 13-10?
the
Did,
Niners
did
didn't.
anyone do their thing?
I don't know that I can trust the Packers defense against that offense.
What?
I don't know. I don't know. That's how bad I think of the Packers defense, bro. It's so like
Damn.
I don't
Are
I
you
don't see it.
picking the Bears right now? I need to ask. Like I need to just the hard
I'm
hitting
picking the
questions.
I'm picking the Bears, bro. I'm picking
Wow.
the Bears.
Holy shit. I just gotta
I'm
say this. Shout out my fucking cousins, bro. I'm in a league with a bunch of my family members, and like three of them, all my primos, Luisito, Olia, y'all know who y'all are. These homies are Bears fans since the time they were kids, bro. And they're
oof.
crying right now because they don't even believe what the fuck you just said.
No, but think about this. Like Roquan Smith, right? He's playing with
He's a dog. I love it.
playing with a chip on his shoulder. I think he's gonna be able to get to Aaron Rodgers, bro.
Yeah, he had so much fun last week in the rain. Did you see those
Yeah, yeah,
videos of him?
yeah.
He's like, I fucking love it, bro. It's like I was in the pool. But there was one. He got up and he's like, I got water in my nose, bro. Like he was just fucking swimming. Hilarious, hilarious.
I bet he's glad he stayed in Chicago now.
No,
Nah,
definitely not.
but but I think he's got something to show, right,
Difference maker for sure.
for his next team, and you want to put that on film. This is against Aaron Rodgers. I feel like he's going to go harder than we would expect him to actually go.
It's a division game. Like I feel
It's a
like
division
they
game.
always are at each other's necks for sure.
I would not be surprised if the Bears won this. So I'm choosing them. I like.
That's crazy to me.
I know.
bro. I love what you're doing here, brother. Like I really appreciate it. This is wild. Like
I'm gonna go with
I
them,
don't.
man.
I would not allow this Aaron Rodgers slander. I would not allow it.
Look,
Man, listen. The man changed his look to look as close to Keanu Reeves for a reason. Okay,
yeah, and
shoot or
that was
shoot,
horrible.
shoot or shoot.
That was horrible.
It's
The
time to
hair,
start curving these
the hair
bullets,
could have been
brother.
longer. You know, he could have looked a little better in that costume, man.
It might be a case of not having a true bond with the dog. Like I feel like that's what he missed out on. You know,
Probably that too. Yeah,
probably that.
yeah, yeah. But then you also have to have someone to actually kill the dog too, right? Like, like
That's
to
where
get
things
that.
get dark.
Yeah, so
You're
everything
right.
makes a turn. So yeah, I'm not buying it. I think he more so reminded me of Keanu Reeves and Bullet.
Wow.
Not
That's
Bullet.
a.
I'm sorry. Speed. Was it Speed?
I was about
Speed.
to say, there's no way.
What was that? Speed. Oh, what he did with Sandra Bullock. Oh my god. I think it was Speed. He reminded
I
me of
wish
him.
I wish I could bail you out of this one, but I
No, no,
I
no.
really
It's speed. It's speed. Yeah, yeah. It's
okay.
speed. 94.
Okay.
Yeah. Um.
That explains
Yeah. 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 He more so reminded me of that Keanu Reeves than
the actual. Then
the actual.
yeah, I
Yeah.
feel you on that.
Yeah.
I'm just upset that we're really doing this on the road against the in Lambeau that you're picking the Packers. I
I'm
mean, you're
going.
picking the Bears. I'm going with the
Who's
Packers
Aaron
here.
throwing to?
It don't matter,
Who's he
bro.
throwing to?
Robert Tanyan. It don't matter, bro.
Eh, look, Italian is not going to kill his defense like that. I'm sorry, he's not. And I don't think that Lazard is going to be playing, right? Like,
Mhm.
eh,
Bro, do you really trust that more than Darnell Mooney and Justin Fields? Like I don't.
I trust their offense more than I trust
There's
Packers
no
offense right now.
way. There's
I
no
do.
way you bro, I'm sorry. I know they were playing the Niners, but there's no way you
No,
could believe that. Like that was one of the listen,
no, I know that was a fluke.
that was
I
one
know
of the
that. I know that was a
shittiest games ever. Like
yeah.
one of
No,
the shittiest games ever.
I know that was a fluke. Like I'm not even putting this on that. That has nothing to do with
That's what's crazy to me. It
that. Has
feels like it has to be based on
no.
that.
That's not. It's not even based on that. I don't trust the Packers, bro. And with it being a
Wow.
division game, like I actually could see Justin Fields tearing that defense apart.
Wow.
I don't have any faith in that
I
defense.
can't wait to clip this next week because there's no
Hey,
way this.
look, I
Like
could
I'm
be
gonna
wrong.
hang my fucking hat on this because there's no way.
If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm good with it. I'm good with it. But
Listen, I think you're taking out. This is part two of Kyrie. Aaron Rodgers has become the Kyrie. He is now the enemy number one, and we're trying to send him
he has
into hell.
definitely said and
And
done some dumb things.
I know that have
But
gotten you upset,
but
rightfully so.
nah, he like to me he's still better than Tom Brady in a
Mhm.
sense. You know, Kyrie, I still love his handles, man. I'm going to teach my kids to develop their handles the way Kyrie did. Right, like I got a video that he was talking about how he did it. So I'm making sure my kids do the same thing, right? So I can acknowledge greatness, but when I'm seeing with the team, they don't match those
That's
vibes,
why,
bro. They don't match those vibes.
when I waxed poetic on earlier on about the Vikings defense,
Mm-hmm.
that is why I'm like you're crazy because I feel like that had so much more to do with the Vikings than it did. But we'll see. I can't wait to see whether or not I'm proven wrong or not. Can't wait to find out
Hey
because
man,
there's no reason why we should be arguing this much about this game.
we
So we'll
shouldn't
move
be.
on.
We shouldn't
We'll
be.
move on.
Yeah, no, I apologize.
No, I love it. I love it. This is the energy we need. This is the energy we need. Next up, Titans at Bills. You asked me about this game last season, I would have been so turnt right now. Like this was game of the week. What's going on?
They're getting
What's going
smoked.
on?
That's what's going on.
What's going
The Titans are getting smoked. Do you see the way that oh my god, I forgot his name. Way a dude plowed Derrick Henry last week.
Yes. Oh my god. Yes. Wild. He's usually doing that to other people. It's crazy.
That's the picture of the Titans season.
Mm, I agree.
Okay. That's they
Tannehill
were
was in the mud. I
they were
knew
coming
Tannehill was in the mud.
they were coming into the year, fans thinking they're gonna do something. Nope.
Dude. I
I
don't
ain't
know
never
how the fuck
seen Derrick
fans
Henry's
thought they were
cleats
doing
go up.
something like that. The dexterity. It's amazing. I never would have the hip dexterity. I didn't even know it existed.
Yeah. I
Dude.
mean, I apologize, Dwayne.
Yeah.
I know you're gonna watch this, bro, and this has got nothing to do with you. I like love you, man. I tried to tell him last week that they're not gonna
This is
have a good
gonna
season.
happen.
I
Oh.
tried to tell him. I said maybe 4 wins. I just, but I thought they were gonna get that win. So the fact that they didn't
Mhm.
get that win, Jesus.
Yeah. Problems are afoot. And when when you went from AJ Brown, the way he played, seeing how he played week one, to your two best receivers were rookies.
Bro,
We got problems here.
where was Robert Woods?
Shout out to Malik Willis. When the fuck is that happening? It needs to happen.
At this rate, week 5, maybe
Week 6,
6,
maybe. Yeah, I
somewhere around
like
there.
that. I don't know.
I was saying 10
My
or 11,
fantasy, my fantasy
but
team would be very happy right
oh
now.
man, yeah, that would be
My dynasty
phenomenal.
team
Yeah,
specifically.
yeah,
I'm making moves.
yeah.
Once he's starting, I'm making moves. Let's just see.
Yeah, I was told AJ Brown was replaceable.
Huh.
I was told
We'll
AJ
move
Brown was
on.
replaceable.
We'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. There's no way the Bills are losing this game, right?
No,
At home.
no,
And if
no.
they do, this is going to be the moment where we're like, we did it again. We
We
gave
did
the
it again.
Bills way too much respect.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And I think that moment will come this season. It will
I
come.
I
We'll, we,
don't.
I hope this is all I hope. I hope that when they do take their L's, because everyone does, right?
Oh, yeah, they're gonna
Nobody
lose.
probably
Yeah,
gonna
they're
go
definitely gonna lose a
17 and
game.
0.
So yeah,
That when they take their L's, it makes sense. Like it's against
yeah,
teams that they actually should lose to. Because
yeah,
most of the time it's not, and
yeah,
that doesn't make sense.
yeah. Because they
So,
lost against the Jaguars last year, right?
yep, and
Yeah,
they lost against. I think they lost against the Texans as well. If I'm not mistaken.
yeah, yeah. I think so.
Um, Shout out to Texans. Hey, we're
Hey,
here again. We're here
yeah, man.
again.
Yeah,
But
man.
that's the first of a historic 2 Monday Night Football games. Am I seeing that correct? Is that real?
Yes, we got 2 Monday
Wow.
Night Football games.
Is
Yes,
that
sir.
how it's gonna be from now on, or is it just this week?
I don't know, but I know which one I'm watching.
Because it wasn't like that last week.
It
Yeah, yeah,
wasn't.
I love it. And
Yeah, yeah.
prime motherfucking time. Let's add that. The final game of the week: Vikings at Eagles, baby.
Yes. Jalen Rager's revenge game.
Taking Rager bombs. Let's go.
uh, he actually did not deny this week that vengeance was on his mind. And I'm trying to figure out like how that's gonna actually take place.
Yeah.
I
How
love Rager, man. Like I don't
how
even
are you
like
gonna do that?
I I love Rager.
I need that Drewski clip. That what is it? What do you mean by that?
You know what you mean? Like I need to know what is going on. I'm assuming he's going to be a punt returner. I didn't watch the Vikings game last week, but
Yeah.
I'm assuming his main contribution is special teams. So I love to see him go for it.
Try to get revenge
But I'm telling you right
and to get a
now,
fumble.
it's
It's
going
gonna
to
be
be a
amazing.
fumble. It's going to be at least at minimum one fumble. At
I hope
minimum.
so. I hope so. I think that'll be amazing for
At
the arc
minimum.
of this show. I think there's none. It's very rare that you find someone that Derrick absolutely hates on his teams, and Jalen Rager was that since early last season.
Bro.
So this
Like,
is
and I
amazing.
I
If anything,
had
this might be more vengeance for you than it is going to be for
bro, I
Jalen
swear on
Rager.
everything, man. I swear on everything. There's no way that Rager is going to be able to get through that game. You saw the boos that Russell Wilson got.
Could be worse.
Imagine this is Philly, bro.
Yeah, a lot of rednecks that love going crazy. Yeah, I agree.
It's not going to be good for him, man. It's just
I
not going to be
agree.
good. I
This is gonna
mean,
be a fucking firework
it's gonna be a
matchup, though.
it's
Like
gonna
this
be
is
a really good
amazing.
matchup. It's gonna be a really good matchup.
What's the over? Let's say over under 62 combined points. What do you say about that?
I'm gonna say over.
Wow,
I'm gonna say over.
you heard that
Um,
here. Bet the over, folks, because that's not even the. There's no way that's the line, and
yeah,
it still
yeah,
worked out.
yeah. I'm gonna
I
say
like
over
that.
because I think Philly put up what 38 last week.
Yep. And the Lions put up 34. So
Yeah, I I I I'm gonna say over because I think that I, Jonathan Gannon better get his stuff together. He better get his stuff
mm,
together because if he doesn't play Jordan Davis on that defensive line, like I'm not even sure that Fletcher Cox actually took a like actually regressed. I'm pretty sure it's just misuse at
mm,
this point. So I know it's week 2. I'm telling you right now, if that defense looks anything remotely close to how it looked last week, Jonathan Gannon needs to go. And
mm.
I don't care. I do not care. He needs to
Nah,
go.
the,
I need my
last
defensive
week
coordinator.
would be worse than this week. Like this team is going to be on pace to be top
Oh yeah, no. I think defense.
offensively.
I think the defense in totality is going to be phenomenal this year. I think there's nothing more they can do but go up from where they
You
were
talking about
last
the
week.
Eagles?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Sorry. I was confused there.
Oh yeah, I'm not talking about the Vikings. Yeah, not at all. No. Um, but I need them to. I need them to improve on that line in terms of utilization. Like they had the personnel. It's just the utilization
For sure.
of
But
who's
giving up
there.
34 points to the Vikings makes a lot more sense than 34 points to the Lions, right?
Yes,
That's
yes,
the point I was
it
trying to
does.
make.
Yes, yeah, yeah, yeah. But that's also because they Jordan Davis was when Jordan Davis was in there, they got 2 yards, bro.
Hmm.
And as
Yeah.
soon as they took him out, that's when DeAndre Swift went up
He
for
went
God knows
crazy.
how long. Like, why would you do that? You got someone that can command 2 players. Like he can command 2 linemen. You could like, come on, man. You don't have a weapon like that. That's like having Aaron. This is a very. I am not comparing him to Aaron
Hot
Darnold.
take. Yeah.
I'm not comparing him to Aaron Donald. But if you have a special player on your defensive line that can command so much attention from the offensive line like that, that's like
You
taking.
gotta scheme him in.
You have to
You're
scheme him
hurting
in.
yourself. Yeah, you're
That's like
hurting yourself.
taking Aaron Donald out of the game. Why would you do that?
Yep.
You know he's gonna command so much attention. Put him in the game. I think that's all they really got to do is just make sure they have the right personnel on the field in the right situations. But I think both offenses are going to go crazy. I think Justin Jefferson, I would love to see who he's going to be matched up against because
It's gonna be
Darius
fun.
Slay, Bradbury, Avante Maddox. You know, like if Maddox is on him, I love Maddox. He's not likely winning that matchup.
For sure.
He's not winning that. So I
Sure,
want
he's
to,
gonna at some point. Each of those guys will be covering him at some point.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, you got
yeah.
as many looks as possible. You just gotta hope to contain because he's
That's all.
going
That's
nuts
all.
this
Oh
season.
yeah, yeah. No,
I
he's
think
gonna
this season he's gonna lead the league in receptions for sure.
he might he might. But on the flip
Man,
side, AJ Brown is going to go off too.
yeah, for sure.
And now those are the 1-2 receivers in yards last week. So I would love to see who actually get the most yards this week. So yeah, AJ Brown, man.
Mm, cooking,
Even
cooking.
after
This is gonna
contact,
be
man,
so
it's just
fun.
how
I ain't
I'm
gonna do it 2 days. I ain't gonna do it 2 weeks in a row though. I'm gonna pick the
don't.
Eagles here.
You should.
I
You
ain't gonna do
should.
it 2 weeks
It's
in a row.
Philly in Philly.
Yeah,
That's most definitely. But it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a high powered offensive game. And I think that it's possible we combined it could be above 65. I
hey,
think it's possible.
we only got 2 games that we disagree on, and guess what? One of them involves the Giants, and the other involves the Bears. So I'm feeling very confident. That's
Yeah,
all I
yeah,
gotta
yeah,
say.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
feeling very
Hey,
confident.
hey, hey. I might be wrong on one of those. But in the off chance I'm right on both.
Yeah. If you're right on both, I think I might just give it up. Like
Hey
the
man.
season might be won week 2. So we'll see. We'll see because that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey,
We'll
I'm
see.
gonna come to you for my parlays next week for sure. But
Hey man. Yeah. I'm gonna send you something now.
now there's something I need to wax poetic on. I didn't even tell you about this, but I'm just gonna hijack the show for like 5 minutes if that's
Most
cool.
definitely, please.
Um, I'm gonna ask you: do you want to start with the depression, or do you want to start with the most exhilarating moments? Where do you want to start with this one?
Let's start with the depression so we can end on a high note.
Ooh, let's start with the pain. Okay, this past weekend was a very tragic one for me, and the main reason being that I'm a huge Tony Ferguson fan. Now,
Yeah. Yeah.
this main event against Nate Diaz, I just need to say off rip, there was a lot of anticipation on my end. And it wasn't because I'm like, man, this is a fight that I've been clamoring for. No, not necessarily. What made me so excited about this matchup was I was like, things got reshuffled, right? For
Mm,
anyone that was under a rock during last weekend, there was a big situation where Nate Diaz was supposed to fight Hamza Chimaev. Chimaev missed weight, caused him to flip literally 3 different fights so that people are fighting other people just so that they could still have an event, which is crazy that
that was
that shit
wild.
happens. I feel like if we look back, if we put this moment into a time capsule 100 years forward, there's no way that shit like that is happening anymore. Just saying.
Mm, hmm.
But Nate Diaz ends up getting what I thought was a more favorable matchup against Tony Ferguson. And I thought
Yes.
Tony Ferguson also got a more favorable matchup in Nate Diaz. So I'm like, man, this makes me happy. Both of these guys now actually are fighting someone where they actually might have a shot. A, and B, it might be fun, right? That's what we're all hoping for. Um, Everyone was really happy about Nate Diaz. Everyone was really happy about the event afterwards and the fact that he won. I came away feeling just sad, man. Both of those guys looked in a completely different place of their career,
Mm-hmm.
um, way worse than they had even in previous fights. And both of these guys were already on slides.
Mm-hmm.
So like seeing that fight just made me so fucking sad because it was fun. Like it was a good fight, right? Like it had an arc. Like there was moments where you thought one guy was gonna win and then the other ends up winning. Like it was a close, compelling fight in that way. But both of these guys really, you could tell, took a step back. But Tony
Mm-hmm.
Ferguson 10 times more. Like what really makes me fucking sad about this is like his style doesn't even resemble what it was during his run, and what really sort of hit home to me on this was something that John Anik said about sort of technique and styles, where he's like, like, and this sounds very flippant and very fucked up, but he was like, ultimately for a lot of you young kids who are training MMA, like this is about why you need to focus on technique more so than raw athleticism because you're
Mm-hmm.
going to age much more gracefully if you do than
Mm-hmm.
if you don't. And I think seeing this fight specifically, he's his legendary chin, he wasn't willing to put himself out there. There was multiple times during this fight where he would literally spin away from punches that were coming his way, which is not a good defensive strategy, A, but
Not at
B,
all.
entirely against his style of building on offense.
Mm-hmm.
Just letting your opponent have the offensive initiative entirely
Mm-hmm.
doesn't make any sense. And you could argue he's throwing in a spinning elbow, but he's not even getting it out there enough for it to land. So it
Yeah.
doesn't make sense. His team was screaming at him to stop doing it, and he just kept doing it. Like it was really sad to watch. Like this is somebody who's so far removed from what he once was as an athlete, and I think he deserves the respect historically. And I feel like the longer he continues to fight, he's gonna be in that BJ Penn territory where people are
Yeah.
going to be disrespecting his career
Yeah.
and his accomplishments because of the latter half. I really hope someone can get him to stop fighting soon. And honestly, I don't want to see Nate Diaz fight anyone either. Like he's a
I
free
don't
agent
either.
now too.
Yeah.
I don't want to see him go and box Jake Paul or something like that because that's probably what's gonna happen. I don't want to see any of that. Like I don't want to see him. If I want to see him fight again, it'll be in MMA. But I don't even know what that would be. Like at this point, I really don't even go to Bellator or something. Like find a different route because you're not against hammers. None of those guys in that main event is coming anywhere close to being competitive, which
Mm-hmm.
is
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
fact that that was a main event is kind of crazy when you think about it. But now to get to the more
Yeah.
exhilarating side of things, because I don't want to dampen the room too much, because that was a little hard for two guys that are fan favorites.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Irene Aldana against Macy Chasson. This is a fight that not very highly anticipated. There's some stakes though. Looking to try to make cement themselves as bantamweight contenders, obviously, to fight Amanda Nunes at some point after she gets that trilogy fight done with Juliana Pena. Now, this fight was really exciting, man. This was fun to watch. First round, very competitive, but Irene Aldana got the best of it. Was in position to get a submission. And actually, the commentators are arguing that Macy may have tapped from an armbar, but the referee didn't see it and they continued to fight. Fought through it. Round two, Macy's on top, getting her offense going. It was a beautiful back and forth in that way. And round three, a very competitive round. I thought the tides were turning in Macy's favor. It felt like Macy Chasson was on her way to win a decision. She was on top, landing shots and controlling Aldana. And eventually Aldana got to a position where she was, where you're on the ground and then someone's standing up above you and you're not really committed on whether or not you're getting up or not, but like that
Mm-hmm.
space is being occupied. So you're staying on the floor. So they're doing that little game where like you're throwing up kicks and you're trying to defend, and they're trying to reestablish top position. And this is just after she was in top position. So she stands up. They're in that spot, and something I've never seen before that literally got me to pop crazy. Marina Aldana throws an axe kick to the body, to the liver from the ground. So foot is coming this way,
What?
and and lands exactly on the liver, drops Macy Chess on. She curls up in a ball and tells the ref, I'm like literally, I'm done. To the point because the ref kind of was like, what the fuck happened? Because it looked very weird that she fell from that position. And honestly, it looked like an injury more so than it looked like a damaging strike. So
Yeah.
then they show the replay and you see the heel connect in that area right where their liver is, and it just shut her off, man. So that was such a beautiful KO, a beautiful um, example of violence and
Yeah.
why not all positions should be considered entirely advantageous, because
Yes.
if you can land in certain sweet spots, you can finish fights, and that's exactly what she did from a position that it's very rare to find KOs at all, but
Mm,
a KO to the body from laying
from
down
that
on
up.
your back
Yeah.
while your opponent's standing over you is fucking crazy. So shout out to Irene Aldana.
Yeah.
Viva Mexico, baby.
I need to see that replay. That sounds phenomenal. I would love to see
Dude,
that.
dude, it was, and the fact that it was like she needed it for the comeback too, like
Yeah.
it was just crazy. It was just
Yeah.
crazy. So definitely check that out. That was awesome to watch.
Was definitely
Almost as crazy as how week one in the NFL was. So, dude, I'm
okay.
looking
But
forward to seeing how week two pans out, because
yes, sir.
this has been fun.
Yes, sir. I have one thing to say before we get out of here as well. Um, I'm highly disappointed in the NBA. Adam Silver, uh, um,
Thank you for talking about this.
Adam Silver needs to get his stuff together because I'm like, you can't have what was his name, Sarver,
Hmm.
the owner of the Phoenix Suns,
Yep.
and I think the Mercury as well, in WNBA.
I didn't
Um,
know that. Wow.
yeah, yeah. So, um, you gave him a 1 year suspension and $10 million fine. The stuff that came out that took place over the last 20 some odd years from him, Donald Sterling lost his team for less.
Yep.
I'm just saying,
Documented as well.
documented.
Documented. Yeah.
Yeah. But I find it interesting that this was going on for 20 years. People knew about it. And when the Donald Sterling stuff came out, this didn't come out.
Yep.
So I'm kind of questioning as to why, that took place. Look, Adam Silver was doing a great job when he first came in. I thought he handled a lot of things pretty well.
And changed the game for the better in certain aspects for sure.
Yeah.
But
But
this
over the
is bad.
last year, 2 years, he's been making some questionable, more than questionable decisions, and this by far is one of the most egregious.
Hmm.
Um, you can't have someone in your organization, in your league, that is able to be misogynistic, sexist, racist, and is only subjected to a 1 year suspension, $10 million fine. That doesn't make sense. And he tried to reason it to say that it's because of the owner, and there's more that goes to it. No,
There's
no,
no excuse for that.
no, no. Because anybody else, if this was a player, coach, they're not in the league anymore.
No.
Just because this is the man that owns the team does not mean he's above reproach. Reproach. Get him the hell out. Now, the guy that came in and filled his place in for this, I think the second majority owner of the team has called for his resignation.
Yeah.
And it should not be on anybody else
Other
in that
minority
organization.
owners.
No, it should not be on them to call for that, and it definitely shouldn't be on the players to come up with some type of strike or something like that.
Hmm.
This is on Adam Silver. Make it right. Now, honestly, the fact that Silver has already done this and kind of doubled down on it,
How did he
you,
double down on it?
by saying that this is the the max that can be given,
Mm,
but also saying that he's an owner. Like, come on now, come
no,
on
I
now.
see what you're saying.
Donald Sterling,
Force him to fucking sell it. Yeah.
yeah, you can force him to sell. Donald Sterling, again,
And and
lost his
and
team
and
for a lot
and how
less.
much of a fucking sacrifice is that? Let's be real. Like, let's be. How much of
10
a
mil,
sad day is that?
10 mil.
Like,
That's like $10. That's pocket change to this guy.
fuck that though. It's still like my point is your worst repercussion is having to make money. Like your worst repercussion is
You
having
sit
to
home.
turn
You
on your investment because there's
you
no
sit
way he
home.
didn't get money since when he bought it. It's fucking
Yeah.
crazy.
No, he literally sits home for the rest of the year, does nothing. Like you said, earns money because he's still the owner of the team. He's just not able to be there on the day-to-day operations. Come on now,
Yeah.
do better, do better. And I think this really makes the league look bad. Honestly, I think this is a really a horrible decision that they need to retroactively fix.
Mm-hmm.
But moving forward, like this is the problem, man. You can't have people in positions of power that don't have any idea what they're doing. Like, you can't speak on racist situations as a white person. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't. At least you can't speak on them to say like this is enough that can be done. No, no, you have to
I
have
have done
people.
more for less.
You should.
The precedent is there. Yeah.
They already set the bar for stuff like this with Donald Sterling. So how is it that you're able to go underneath that bar and be okay with it? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense. So anybody else that's around Silver, like I would like to know who's around him helping him make these decisions. I know Mark Tatum. That's the only one I can think of off the top of my head. But
Mm-hmm.
everybody else is around him needs to be there needs to be women in that position. There needs to be people like there needs to be black people in that position. Bump the people of color thing. Black people need to be in that position too. They need to be around him because there's no way you can sit here and say that this is enough. It's not enough. The majority of the league is black, and then the women that's a part of the front offices, or I'm sorry, even the WNBA, because now because he's a owner of the Mercury, now he's involved with women too. And you're sitting here telling women that their careers are gonna be different because they're pregnant or whatever. Like, bro, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like you're dropping your pants and your drawers in front of people. Like, come on, man. And you're trying to brush us off as sophomoric behavior. That's dumb. That's
Yeah.
dumb.
That's ridiculous.
No, no, no. Get
I
him the hell
appreciate
out.
I
Adam
appreciate
Silver,
you bringing light to this too, because I just
no
want to
doubt.
say this: there's 100%, 100%, the most strategic play of all of this, and what bothers me the most. Think about it. How long? When did this story first break? It wasn't. It wasn't this week. It wasn't when the news came out about the
Mm-hmm.
ruling. This
Mm-hmm.
is this. All of this shit came out at once, and it took them how many months? I
It
think
was a
they
long
waited.
time.
I
I
think
actually
they
forgot
waited
about
until the
this.
season start. This is why I think
Yeah.
they waited until the NFL season started because there's
Mm.
too much to fucking talk about. We
Yeah.
even did it on the show, respectfully.
Yeah.
Most of the time, these things are on the forefront. I didn't even
Yeah.
it fucking slipped my mind, so I really appreciate
Yeah.
it.
No doubt.
I
No doubt.
think this was all done very strategically so that there's so much other things going on and nobody else will notice, and we'll continue and carry on with what we're doing.
Mm.
Um, I agree with you 100%. And what bothers me the most about it too, fuck the content of what he did is already fucking deplorable. But like I
Yeah.
said, when the worst of your repercussions, even when, consider this, even if Adam Silver did the right thing and made a proper fucking punishment for this, the most of what happens to you is net positive.
Oh, for sure. For
And
sure.
the fact that they, in my opinion, and this is the only thing that makes sense, because and I don't understand why they didn't give this grace to Donald Sterling. I feel
Mm.
like a lot of this, and older people, older people in general, I feel like tend to lean this way, where it's like, well, if you're in that position, things were different 20 years ago. Well,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't matter how different things were 20 years ago. Once the truth comes out, it's out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it needs to be fucking addressed,
Yes.
just like you said. And the
Yeah.
fact that this is all being undercut and sort of swept under the rug, and it's fine because he's not going to be here for a year. How the fuck can he come back? How is this not an indefinite like
How about
thing? It doesn't make
this?
sense.
How about this? This now makes me look at Adam Silver differently, because if you're if you're this quote unquote harsh in this with this type of behavior, what else is going on?
Hmm. That
What else?
hasn't come to
What
light yet.
what else has not come out that you're covering up?
Hmm.
And I don't care what team it is.
Yep. Doesn't matter. It could
It
be
doesn't matter.
my fucking team.
That's
If
what I'm
something
saying.
comes out,
Yeah.
yeah,
Nah. I don't care. I don't care if this happens in Boston, bro. That's another thing.
it does
Like
happen in
it
Boston. Let
does,
me just
but
make
see,
that clear.
that's the thing though. That's the thing. We there are different teams like Boston, Utah, where something racial takes place, and there's more scrutiny on those teams, right? But you have somewhere. This is in Phoenix, right? I don't feel like this is being taken as seriously, and that's what I don't understand.
I don't either.
Like I'm okay with
What's the
withholding.
difference?
There's no
LA,
difference.
LA versus Phoenix. That's the difference.
Look, if this takes place on any team, the precedent should be the same. Should be the same. You should be forced to
Mm.
sell your team. That's
And
the
you should be,
bar that
and
was
you should
set.
be, and you should be fucking happy that that's what happened.
Yes,
You should be
yes,
fucking happy.
yeah. And I think if I'm
Crazy.
not mistaken, Donald Sterling got a lifetime ban from the games.
Yep. Which should be extended. Crazy.
So why what are we not what are we not doing here?
I just want to figure out what the fuck Sarver did for Silver now because
That's
what's
my
the
point.
difference? What's
There's
the
a bit
difference? Yeah.
like this now starting to feel like a payout in some way. Like there's something that's going on behind scenes that you're not seeing, you know.
You know what?
And
This just I'm so I hope this doesn't derail us at all,
no, no,
but this just reminded me of the situation with the Commanders as well. When the fuck is that coming out?
I,
When the fuck is that dropping?
I and you see how long the NFL has drugged their feet on that.
Period.
You see what I'm saying?
Disgusting shit.
So I don't care what team it is. I don't care what league it is. Like they should be forced to sell in a lifetime ban. That's the bar that was set. That's where you go every single time. And I don't care. I don't care how long ago this was. I don't care. Like, and that's another problem. This happened in '04.
Like that's a long time ago.
People knew about this and wasn't they weren't saying anything.
Crazy.
So I mean, yeah, we are living in a different day and age, right? We are. There were jokes that people said back then that they could get away with, and there's nothing wrong. Like societally, like nobody looked at it as a wrong thing, right? But for the most part, you're looking back on all these things, and you're like you start to cringe. You ever watch any of these movies that you used to watch, and then like all of a sudden you're hearing things like, Jesus,
For
like
sure.
as a society, we are in a more evolved place, right?
Thankfully.
Thank God. Silver needs to do something because this you don't and he started his tenure with the Donald Sterling thing. That's why I'm confused.
Hmm. What has changed?
That was what 8 years ago, something like that.
Yep.
What is the difference now? So
Same.
yeah, I like Silver like he ain't gonna do the job right. Don't do the job at all. Resign if you're not gonna be able to do it right. How about that?
and I think some of this also falls on the media as well. Like I feel like
Oh yeah.
this needs to be talked about much more and needs to be put to the forefront much more. And I think this is another example where I think a lot of things, a lot of people fall short in order for things like this to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think 100%. Please keep banging the drums as much as we can because I think the public affected a big change in a lot of ways with the Donald Sterling situation. I feel
Yeah.
like that was a whirlwind that they sort of couldn't grab in a bottle, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that this situation gains traction in a similar way and that this thing gets figured out because, like you said, the fact that it needs to be quote unquote figured out in an era where we already have a precedent is there's no words for it. It makes no fucking sense,
Not at
literally.
all. Not at all. So yeah, Silver, do your job. Do your job.
Get your shit together.
Yeah.
Get your shit together, young man. And
Yeah.
we'll leave it at that. Holy fuck. That's a hard place to leave off on, man.
It
This
is, man.
episode was great. Well,
It
dude,
was it
this
was
episode
fun as
was
hell.
on another level.
we,
You get
we
it
we
all here. You get the
we
full
do our
range.
we do the damn thing. How about that, man?
Oh yeah, you get the
We do
full
it.
range of emotions on the show, what you love to
Yes,
feel.
sir.
You love to
Yes,
feel.
sir.
It's not just a show, it's a feeling. And we'll
Yes,
leave it at
sir.
that.
Yes,
So
sir.
make sure that you follow me on Instagram at Chris Negrong underscore, as well as Negrong MMA on Twitter. We are 2 followers away from 400. So that is amazing. We're
Oh,
right there on
let's
the
go.
cusp. And also keep an eye out. I'm really excited. The MMA archive is back
Yes,
this
sir.
Thursday. I'm going to be dropping a episode on UFC Japan, which is technically UFC 15 and a half. This is back in the era where they did half
Half
events.
ones, yeah.
And honestly, this is one of the more stacked cards that we've gotten in the history of the sport so far. So I'm really excited. It's a 7 fight card, so it's a smaller one. But the names on this one are crazy. And then the main event being Randy Couture getting his first title shot against Maurice Smith.
Nice.
Super excited to see how that one gets played out. Obviously, the first black heavyweight champion in MMA history. So you love to
About
see
that.
that.
Yes, sir.
So really looking forward to seeing how that goes. Check out UFC Japan next Thursday, and like that, please, Derek, let the people know where they can find you.
Yes, sir. Follow me at Derrick underscore OTS. That's DERRICK, the black way to spell it. But more so, more importantly, follow the brand at OTS Media Co. All social media platforms. Uh, we're on we're on TikTok. I'm not gonna do any crazy dances, but you'll see some. We're gonna start getting
Jackson.
that. We're gonna get some stuff going at some point. I can't I can't do those TikToks, bro. I'm too old. Uh, but also YouTube channel, OTS Media. We are officially at 400 subscribers now. So
That's awesome.
I keep it going. I appreciate you guys supporting and helping us move this forward. We got a lot of stuff that we're trying to keep doing and you know um a lot of shows have taken a longer extended break than expected. But a lot of them are starting to come back. So keep an eye out. Subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell if you have not done on that channel, and subscribe to all OTS shows on all social media platforms. But please, specifically for the sideline guys, please let us know what you guys think. Rate, review, help us out with figuring out whatever you want to hear. Whatever discussions we're gonna start talking about sports betting a little more too. We're getting back to us, and that's what the NFL season has helped us do a lot. So you'll be getting a lot more from us pretty soon. So thank you guys for watching and/or listening. We'll catch you guys later.
Catch you guys next time. Before we head out, I got a last second question for you right here.
Yeah, yeah.
Would you rather reach 1 million subs by the end of the year,
Mm.
or be handcuffed to Jackson Mahomes for the next 3 weeks?
Be handcuffed to Jackson Mahomes.
For
Bro,
the
that
next
dude,
3 weeks.
that dude annoys the hell out of me just with a 1 second clip. So yeah, give me the subscribers. He ain't gonna do nothing for me.
We gotta keep this man away from Jackson Mahomes.
Yeah,
Keep running it up, baby. That's all I
hey
gotta
man,
say.
please do. I don't want to be handcuffed to that guy.
Catch you guys next week.
Yes,
Peace.
sir.